It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in at the start of a brand new year, new week. So many wonderful sporting events to look forward to. And I have to say the premier event on South Africa's canoeing calendar, the Dusi Marathon, takes place in KZN this coming weekend. Hopefully that's making some paddlers nervous out there. The three-day race will see the country's top paddlers battle it out for supremacy over the rapids. Austen Smith from the Natal Canoe Club now joins us this morning as we look ahead to this weekend's race. Brett, thank you so much for joining us, making the trip up from KZN. I know it's got such an illustrious history. It's been around since the early 50s, I think 1950 or 51. It's almost more of an expedition than a race. What is it about the Dusi that captures everyone's imagination? Why is this event such a highlight?
It's such a unique and iconic race. It really is. There's no other race like it in the world. There's nowhere else in the world where you run as much as you do with a canoe. We also do things with sprint canoes effectively down the rapids that people from overseas really can't understand and can't believe.
Sit in awe, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so different. And the environment that it takes place in, the valley, the community that we go through, all of those kind of things add to the intrigue around the Dusi. And as I say, it's an iconic race. It really is.
The most iconic, I'm going to say, that you can see traversing the terrain off the water is often as much a part of the challenge. I'm glad you mentioned the community that it moves through. This has become very much a part of the KZN landscape because of the effect that you guys have on the communities that you pass through, the culture around it. But of course, we cannot ignore at the moment the drought that has that part of the world in its grips at the moment. How is this affecting you guys?
Yeah, it's a really difficult thing that we have to deal with as organisers. At the moment, there's very little water in the KZN system, in the dams and in the rivers. Having said that, we had very good rains over the weekend, and I believe that the river, certainly on day 1 and day 2, is pumping. But it's certainly something that we have to deal with. We've asked the paddlers to embrace the challenge, to accept the conditions as they are, and we as organisers are going to have to do the same. We're going to have to embrace the challenge and really see what we can do to make the race as good as possible. And
knowing the character of most of these races, it's a challenge that they would gladly take up, they would welcome it.
Absolutely. The feedback that we've had, especially from the paddlers that have done more races, is that they're really looking forward to something slightly different. Something maybe going back to the old days where there were no water releases and no dams to rely on and things like that. So a lot of the paddlers are really looking forward to something challenging and something harking back to the old days.
And I think the spectators as well. Just very quickly, who are the front runners on the ladies and the men's draw?
Yeah, we've got 3 world-class athletes. Actually, we've got more than 3 world-class athletes. We've got a whole bunch of world-class athletes.
Legions.
But on the men's side, we're looking at people like Andy Burkett, Hank McGregor. You know, Hank's pedigree speaks for itself. Spornello Quela. Those are the 3 guys that I'm tipping for first place. On the ladies' side, we've got the Olympic bronze medalist Bridget Hartley. She's converted to river racing, so we're looking forward to seeing how she goes. And then the queen of the river at the moment, Abby Solms. You know, she's going to be very hard to beat. It's going to be her race to lose, I think.
Well done for pushing through the challenges that you've faced for this event, and thank you so much for all the effort you guys do put in, as I said, into the communities that you move through as well. Some great developmental projects being born out of the Dusi, so congratulations on that.
Pleasure, thank you very much.
And good luck for the final push.
Thank you.
Of course, the Dusi Canoe Marathon taking place this coming weekend throughout some of the most beautiful landscape in the country. Go and support if you can.